Welcome to Heavy Metal Bake Sale. I'm Special K.
And I'm Catfish.
And this is the pick of the week. So this is where we pick a album that we think is a good starting point for an artist, and obviously an artist that's hopefully new to you, or maybe you haven't listened to a lot of. These range from like very mainstream bands to really obscure side projects, sub-side projects, sub-side projects. When we get into some bands. So the first, I'm gonna go ahead and go first on this one because I have my actual physical album here.
Go ahead.
I have Danzig 2, which is just, it's Danzig. This is Lucifuge. So if you know who Danzig is, Glenn Danzig, he is was the lead singer of the Misfits. Very interesting, very, very angry little man.
Very.
They're still doing music. He still does very select tours. But Danzig is something you have to listen to. They're part of that goth genre. Like they're definitely like a niche band because there's nobody that sounds like them.
Yeah.
And it's obviously, it's mostly about Danzig. I mean, he's had various other musicians playing the instruments throughout the band. It's all about Glenn Danzig. So that's pretty much what this is. And his vocal style is what sets us apart. Now, their later stuff is all weird, but their first couple albums are like amazing. He didn't get the nickname Evil Elvis for, nothing. He does sound like a slightly more satanic version of Elvis. Good key tracks on here are Her Black Wings. I'll put a link to the description down below. Long Way Back from Hell. And then I'm the One. That's a good one. And Devil's Plaything. Those are all good. 777. Those are all good songs off this album. This whole album, there's not a bad song on this album. Honestly, this is a 10. Like in my book, this album is a 10.
No, it's definitely a good album. It's a fun album.
And if you haven't, and this came out in 1990, so again, this is part of that. It's not industrial, but it was part of that goth. It was that weird goth phase where goth was still popular in the 90s, and it was like rock grunge was out there, but this was a thing.
Yeah.
So
like a short-lived kind of.
It was a very short-lived period, but like he's been making music. They just released a new album last year. Danzig did. So I highly recommend checking this out. Wonderful album. And they said you can't go wrong with any of their first couple albums. What about you?
Now, on to my pick. We're going to stay in the 90s, but we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to talk about some third wave ska. I have Turn Off the Radio by Real Big Fish.
Of course.
Special K here knows
I don't dislike Real Big Fish. I'm familiar with them. So.
I'm a fan of third wave ska. I enjoy it a lot. Very upbeat stuff. But Turn Off the Radio, for me, it's definitely their most commercially successful album that Real Big Fish had put out, although they themselves aren't. They're a big name to people who are a fan of third wave ska, but they never quite broke into the mainstream quite the way that Sublime did or that No Doubt did for that genre. So if you're a fan of the genre, then you obviously know who they are. But if you're not a fan of the genre, then you may or may not know who they are. This album, the key tracks, and probably their most famous track is Sell Out, which is a fun track, I think, because it's all about selling out to the man, and it's like, well, yeah, I might have to play what the radio wants you to hear, but at least I get to quit my job at the Burger King. Because he doesn't, he's like, I quit my day, the lyric is, I didn't ask when we get paid, but I quit my day job anyway, because selling out's better than flipping burgers your whole life. Other songs on it, I'm a big fan of Beer. That's also probably one of their more well-known songs. I'm also a fan of Join the Club and She Has a Girlfriend Now. It's a fun album. Real Big Fish, if you enjoy that third wave ska sound, it has a horn section which I really enjoy hearing.
I've been getting into Cake lately. They have a lot of horns.
I'm glad to hear that. But I just like that you're into that.
Yeah, I've been getting into Cake. It's something that was new to me. I bought an album for 99 cents. It's slightly off subject, and I love it. Like me and my wife have been listening to it a lot in the car. So
Cake's a lot of fun.
Yeah, they are.
It is not the
make fun of Cake too a lot, by the way.
I bet you did. It's not a super long album in terms of time. It's only about 43 minutes, so it's pretty decent. But it has 15 tracks on it. So
that's pretty big.
So it's big in terms of lots of tracks, but they're relatively short, pretty bite-sized pieces. It's released in 1996, so really at like the peak of third wave ska, really before they immediately fell off the map.
Yeah.
But anyway, I enjoy it, and I definitely think it's worth checking out if you're a fan of that upbeat 90s style of music.
So I want to point out that Danzig Lucifuge, it's got his hairy chest on the cover. It's just a hairy chest with a cropped skull. It's very manly. It's very homoerotic.
It's too it's too much. It's a great album.
I didn't mention that Danzig, he loves boobs. So if you've seen any of his music videos, somehow on YouTube, he's got topless chicks in his videos frequently, and they get played on YouTube, and they're not in the adult section somehow. So that's a thing.
I think Danzig just might get mad at you if you did. No one wants to deal with an angry Danzig.
Yeah, I mean, hey, he's a short little man, but he can fuck you up, all right? I've seen him at shows just punch people in the face for no reason.
He is wild.
He's got an interesting jawline. Anyway, off subject. All right, well, that's been the pick of the week. If you'd like to see any album reviews on the channel, you can leave a comment down below. Don't forget to hit that like button. I'm Special Cat.
And I'm Catfish.
Thanks for watching.